So yes, the issue, rule, application, conclusion method that I talked about learning in law school that has informed how I process and present information is a useful tool that anybody can benefit from in terms of organizing and communicating about information. However, it is also used as a tool of oppression, by which I mean it sets forth how people are to communicate about legal issues within the legal system, which means that it is used to cut anybody out of the conversation who hasn't been trained in that communication style. And that is what makes the legal system, which applies to and affects everybody, inaccessible to most people. Many people are capable of reading a legal textbook or a legal treatise or reading case law and understanding it just fine, but because they are not trained in the particular way of communicating about it within the legal system, oftentimes they won't be heard. And that spills into so many things like finance and politics. The Supreme Court is one of our 3 branches of government that has a great deal of ability to directly and immediately impact our lives. And in terms of people who are justice system impacted, the likelihood that the legal system will work for them or do them injustice has to do with their access to resources and their access to adequate representation. So marginalized people are less likely to receive adequate representation or can often be left having to represent themselves, and they may be capable of understanding the facts of their case. They may be capable of understanding the applicable law, but without the training in how to put those puzzle pieces together and what is customary in terms of communicating about it in a courtroom, they won't be heard, which effectively leaves them without representation. And this relates to something that I've talked about before, which is Tima Okin's characteristics of supremacy culture. It's not that every single one of those characteristics is inherently negative. There are useful ideas to be pulled out, but when we apply it as ideology to gaslight others, that's when it upholds supremacy culture. Similarly, issue, rule, application, and conclusion is useful for creating a clear and concise, impactful, yet unemotional delivery of information, and that is helpful in terms of efficiency and ease of listening. But if we uphold it as an ideal, we run the risk of not fully exploring our own thought process, our own authentic voice, and we run the risk of gaslighting others. Oftentimes, it is the people who employ a non-linear thought process, who present information with emotion, who are the ones that we need to listen to the most.